award-winning South African TV and radio sports broadcaster and executive producer. Affectionately known as Simply Carol, she is currently the anchor of several shows on SuperSport and the Premier League productions in the UK. Your second host holds an impressive track record of hosting prestigious events, including 3 editions of the BAL Afrobasket Tour de Rwanda. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carol Shabalala and Rwanda's own Brian Shema.
Hello everyone. Wow, what a special occasion. I think an occasion of this magnitude needs us to once again acknowledge the presence of the First Lady, Her Excellence, the First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda. So another warm round of applause as we acknowledge her presence here today. Brian, it's time. Welcome, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. We are here to celebrate International Youth Day, and we're doing it via the International Youth Day Forum. Really a tremendous occasion, and we're so excited to be here. Now, if you all know, International Youth Day is a special day that was designated by the United Nations. It was first observed on the 12th of August back in 2000. And this day originally was created to talk about the plight of the youth. And it was a platform that was opened up for governments around the world to really draw attention to the issues that face the youth around the world, but also to celebrate all of your achievements. And today, that's what we are going to be doing. We're going to be discussing some real issues that impact you, but at the same time, we're going to celebrate you and empower you as you are the new generation or the next generation of our leaders. So you may notice on your t-shirts as well as on your notepads that there is some writing there that says, brought to you by Danny Rees. Let's tell you about Danny. He's a well-known and respected Canadian entrepreneur and philanthropist. He's a recipient of the Order of Canada, which is Canada's highest civilian order. He is the CEO of Canada Goose, luxury apparel company. He wanted to be here with us today, but sadly, as he was about to make his way here, he was back in Canada because of a family emergency. So Danny is here with us in spirit. Can we please acknowledge him and also thank him for making sure that we're able to celebrate this wonderful day. Thank you, Danny.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event is part of the inaugural Giants of Africa Youth Festival, which officially kicks off tomorrow. We have 16 countries being represented here today and throughout the upcoming week. Team Tanzania, are you ready? Do we have Team Nigeria? Team Uganda? Do we have Team Rwanda? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, to keep up with everything that Giants of Africa is doing throughout this entire week, make sure to follow us on all social media at Giants of Africa and use our official hashtag, which is GOA Festival, when posting about your experience. We are also on TikTok.
I love it. We're going to be trending, right?
Yes.
Without doubt. All right. So we're looking forward to seeing all of your posts as you talk about what is happening here today. And of course, the rest of the festivities that are going to be taking place. So for those of you that don't know, what is Giants of Africa? Well, it's a non-profit organization that uses basketball as a tool to educate the youth. It has been across the continent over the last 20 years, conducting some youth basketball and educational clinics, building basketball courts, and hosting youth and community outreach events. The foundation today is celebrating 20 years of inspiring the youth of Africa. Yes, it deserves a round of applause. So Giants of Africa thought, what better way to celebrate this momentous occasion than to have this, the Giants of Africa Festival. Today we have over 2,500 of you here to celebrate. We're at the BK Arena and we are going to be discussing what it is that the youth can do. As we know, a big slogan of the Giants of Africa organization is dream big. Yeah, we live and breathe by the slogan. So this organization aims to inspire the youth, just like all of you, to dream big, to go for broke. But at the same time, Giants of Africa empowers you and gives you the knowledge and the tools for you to actually make those big dreams a reality. Before we officially begin with the formalities today, let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at this presentation about what Giants of Africa is all about.
You see how much you can put yourself into something if you really want to do it. It's your energy to play. It's your energy to learn. It's your energy to listen. Always put your best.
The opportunities that sports provide are immense, and especially for kids from those vulnerable backgrounds where most of the Giants of Africa coaches from the continent came from. It is a lifeline. It's what took us out.
Just whatever you find to do in front of you, do it hard, do it the best way you can. Whether it's school, whether it's basketball, whether it's leading your little sister, your little brother, your family, just do it hard. Africa will win.
Never dreamed of. Basketball brought me to Maiduguri, and basketball got me out of Maiduguri, and basketball has brought me back again.
The message of it's not to get you to the NBA or to the WNBA. It's to provide you with the life skills to succeed in whatever field that you choose to be a part of.
The young people sitting here of Rwanda, of Africa, have a lot of talent in them, and it doesn't come out until they get such an opportunity as you have provided them.
What are we? Africa! What are we? Africa! What are we? What are we?
Congratulations, Giants of Africa, on your 28th anniversary.
Big congratulations to Giants of Africa. You've done something incredible.
We've come a long way since 2003, and the sky's the limit. Again, big congrats, and they just keep working.
We stand on the shoulders of those who come before us, and that absolutely is Giants of Africa, changing the game from the past to the present to the future.
It's truly remarkable what you guys have done, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for us for the next 20 years.
On behalf of myself and all the fellow campers who have been to your camps over the years, I want to say thank you. We love you and thank you.
I pray that you all have 20 more years. You fulfill all of the courts that you're going to go to, and you continue to bring so many opportunities and experiences to the youth of that continent.
20 years is an incredible milestone. Continue to have great impact in the journey, and may the next 20 years be even greater and better and more impactful.
Congratulations, Giants of Africa, Masai, Godwin, on 20 years of excellence, of 20 years of inspiring, of 20 years of providing opportunities for so many that are so deserving.
Oh yes, Giants of Africa. Man, oh man. what a difference, what inspiration, and most certainly worthy of this big, big celebration. Now, some of you saw yourselves on that screen. There have been so many highlights in the past 20 years. We've got 16 countries that are here. I know that Brian mentioned a couple of you, but you can see your flags. 16 countries. You guys have come a long way, and you most certainly know just how important Giants of Africa is. So another big, resounding round of applause for this unbelievable organization. All right, what say we bring out the person that is responsible for all of us being here together, all right? Let me tell you a little bit about this giant of Africa. He's the vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors. He led them to the first NBA championship in 2019. He's got an incredible, yeah, all right, go Raptors. He's got an incredible career journey of his own. He started his career as a scout with the Denver Nuggets. And then, of course, he became the first African general manager in pro sports, rather, with the Denver Nuggets. He co-founded Giants of Africa back in 2003, and he has returned to this continent every single summer since, with his mission to empower Africa's youth to succeed on and off the court. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Masai Ujiri.
Thank you. This is incredible to see all these youth here. It means the whole world to me, and to be in a country here I call home. I'm overwhelmed. My family is here, my kids, Mama Kay. I'll speak to you guys later, but I just wanted to tell you youth that I love you guys. Yeah, I love you guys. For everybody that has come out here, God bless you, and keep striving and keep dreaming big. Dream big, yeah, dream big. Wow. So we'll kick off the show, and it is a huge, huge honor for me to introduce what I call my family, the founder, chairperson of the Ubuntu Foundation, Her Excellency, First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda. The Republic of Rwanda. Somebody I call our own. I call her Mama Kay, Miss Jeanette Kagame. Everybody welcome her to the stage. Bless.
Thank you, Masai. Honorable dignitaries here present, dear brother Masai and my sister Ramatu, and the kids behind you. Retired Lieutenant General Romeo Dallaire, founder of the Dallaire Institute for Children, Peace and Security. Amadou, Ismail B., UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and advisor to the Dallaire Institute. Esteemed guests, African giants, our beautiful youth, good afternoon. Happy International Youth Day, and welcome to this Youth Forum. The energy in this room today is truly contagious and electrifying. Thank you, Giants of Africa, for your incredible work these past 2 decades and for bringing us here today. Our youth, We are starting an exciting week, which I hope to be rich in fun and joyful memories, yet we're also having today a somewhat loaded conversation. But I know this will not be a problem. The country we stand on today was built by the dreams and sacrifices of youth like yourselves. So I would never think any of you too young to have the conversations that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, hosting you all in Kigali is a blessing that seemed almost unimaginable 3 decades ago. Safety, the right to exist as an individual worthy of respect and deserving of dignity was a luxury dangled away from our reach for decades. Some said that Rwanda was small and hopeless and destined to a small, hopeless fate. But they didn't realize that greatness is in fact in the spirit. Greatness is in the ambition, not in size, not in origin or past experiences. They were blind to the obvious truth because they were, and perhaps still are, classic haters. Indeed. But haters never win, not when there is almost an infinite power to draw from love and solidarity. Dear youth, these can be strange times for us all. News has made its way into our homes, suggesting that there is trouble all over. Children of our continent, what we want for you is quite simple: a steady, maintainable onwards and upwards for our continent, Africa. Good health, happiness, prosperity, and achievement are what the youth deserves. So good health, happiness, and prosperity are what you must all pursue. I don't doubt one moment that you can claim all these blessings. You are compelling, you are engaging, you are dynamic, you are creative, you are daring, you are attuned to this rapidly moving world as if you already know some of what it will take to navigate it successfully. It's true what is said, through interconnectivity from, for instance, the internet, through improved education and access to information, our beloved youth appears to grow smarter by the day. And still, some teachings come from experience more than from intelligence. Just like in sports, much of your skill will come from your days, months, years of practice, and not only your talent. What we can offer you in what will be quite a journey to being grown, as we call it, is the wisdom the years have given us. You see, some of us have been grown for quite a while. In some cases, for longer than we realize, until we are around fresh, youthful faces like the ones before me. It's a blessing in itself to have lived long enough to see what could come of a suffering country if the ingredients for success were used. And this is the knowledge I hope to leave with you guys today, what your own successes will take irrespective of talent, regardless of luck. Determination, discipline, and good judgment, team spirit, victory through partnership, collective efforts, reliance on each other, collaboration, shared ambitions, friendship, all the values that have always guided strong performances in team sports. Together we must, together we will. This spirit should habit every heart of this continent. Never mind those who claim that green pastures are only available across the oceans. You come from a beautiful continent of unmatched resources and wealth, and you are its greatest resources yet. If your path takes you elsewhere, may you be blessed with a good education, health, and fulfillment, and may you eventually use your blessings to help uplift the homes that prayed for your good fortune. You are gems of flesh, dear youth, but I still urge you to work on your polishing. Invest in your shine. Channel your competitiveness into being the most educated, the most rounded in the room. Be the voice of reason even in times of hostility. Refuse peer pressure and embrace peer support, for friendship and social engagement should lead you to an improved future and not a compromised one. Have fun, but know that worthy fun does not come at the cost of your health and well-being. Always defend peace, for there is never glory in avoidable conflict or blood spill. If you crave success or even authority, learn to dominate through excellence, not through bullying or oppression. The world has seen enough of our mistreatment of each other, of our nature, of our cultures. I know that you can do better for our faiths. So do so. Craft the better, kinder world we all want for you, and may this year's theme, Green Skills for Youth Towards a Sustainable World, always inspire all our efforts to be mindful and respectful of what is replaceable, and that is our environment. And to the giants, I thank you for your attention, to the wonderful speakers that will surely offer us invaluable lessons. I am certain that our youth will turn the collective wisdom you'll transmit into wonderful, abundant successes. We shall be cheering them on for as long as destiny allows. May this future be bright indeed. I wish you a good afternoon.
Thank you to Her Excellency, the First Lady of Rwanda. Not just for those wonderful words to get us underway today, but for her presence here. She knew the importance of this gathering, of this festival, of this youth forum, and hence she is here. Are you guys not inspired? Yeah? Are you inspired? Oh yes, this is what today is going to be all about. I loved her words about greatness, where she said greatness is not in stature, it's not in size, but it is within. We are here to unleash your greatness because you are our future leaders. Now, Giants of Africa is so grateful and honored to be working in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and the Imbuto Foundation to bring all of us, all of you here today for a wonderful afternoon of engagement, of education, of empowerment. We are ready. We are going to be inspired today, and we're going to be learning from so many individuals that are going to be coming out here and sharing some nuggets of wisdom and giving you guys some invaluable tools. Now, you do have a notepad and pen, right? So we encourage all of you to use them. Use that notepad, use that pen, listen, make lots of notes. We want you to leave here feeling uplifted and feeling motivated. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a great honor for me to introduce our speaker who is going to do just that, leave you feeling uplifted and motivated. She's an American professional basketball coach and former player. Currently the head coach of the Stockton Kings in the NBA G League. Yeah. So she became the first female to hold this position. Previously, she coached for 5 years in the NBA and was also the first South Sudan Women's Senior National Team coach. Well, prior to her coaching career, she was a 9-year veteran of the WNBA after being picked #1 overall in the 2007 draft out of the basketball powerhouse Duke University. Woo! Please welcome to the stage, Coach Lindsey Harding.
Hello. How y'all doing? Yes. You guys, first off, before I start, you guys have so much energy. I walked out, the DJ was playing. Can you play a little something real quick for me? Can everybody get up and dance a little bit? Can everyone get up and dance a little bit? Come on. A little bit. Really? I'm good, thank you. No, I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. When I was asked to come here and to speak, I thought long and hard about what message I wanted to leave you guys with. We all have different backgrounds. We see there's a lot of people from all over. And the one thing that I feel that helped me get through the hard times, get to where I am, and will catapult me to the next level, for one, is courage. And I'm gonna speak a little bit about that and what it means to me. And secondly, is controlling your mind and understanding the power of positive thinking and what it can do for you, right? So first, with courage. Most people, when you think of a courageous person, you think that they're fearless. You think that they're not afraid, that they can do anything, that they're strong, that they're accomplished, that they never fail. That's what I used to think. But over time, I realized that to be brave and to have courage, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. You have to put yourself out there. And being put out there, sometimes you're alone, and it's lonely, and it's scary, and it's uncomfortable, right? Some of the most courageous people that I've ever met were terrified with the decisions that they made. They second-guessed what they did. They weren't confident. They failed over and over and over again. But the one thing they did is they did it anyway. That's where the courage comes. Doing something even though you're scared, even though everyone says you shouldn't do it. It's so important. Other things I want to talk about, societal norms. Again, we're all from different places, but for one, young men, society says, you guys have to be strong. You don't struggle, you're tough. Don't show emotion, don't cry, just tough it out. You have the answers. Young women, make sure you behave like you're supposed to as a young woman. Dress as you should dress. Now, we understand how society works. It's important. It's important to know how to move through it. However, do not believe in the illusion of what society says is true. Young men, if you are struggling, ask for help. People care and you are not alone, right? If you feel emotions, feel them. Actually feel them and express them appropriately. And if you need to cry, cry. And if you don't have an answer to something, don't make it up. Hello? All right, I'm back. Young women, I'd say, well, let me go back. When I said young men, if you don't have the answers, just say you don't know. Those things don't make you weak. They actually make you very strong. It makes you very strong to be open, to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, but what's then makes you have courage and to be brave. Young women, we tend to worry a lot. So I say to you, and to all of us, stop worrying about things that haven't happened or may never happen, right? Stop worrying about what other people think or what they're going to think about you. Stop second guessing yourself. If you like something, you want to do something, Just do it. I want to tell you guys a little bit of an example that happened with me. My first year of coaching in the NBA, I was sitting behind the bench and I was watching our team and we weren't doing so well on defense. And I had in my head how we should probably change our defense. And right before I said something, all these thoughts came racing in my head. I started second guessing myself. I started saying, what are the other coaches gonna think? I'm the only woman here. Are they gonna think that I don't know basketball? I'm the only one that wants to do something different. And so I did the safe thing and I sat down and I closed my mouth and I was quiet. About 5 minutes later, they changed the defense to exactly what I had in my head. I had never been so disappointed in myself. I betrayed myself. And I said I'd never do that again. Right? It's not easy, but to have courage, it's not just one time. It is a daily decision. You wake up every day and say, I'm gonna do something that may be a little scary, but it's gonna make me better. It's gonna get me to that, we talk about dreaming big, it's gonna get me to that next level. And the last thing on this, I'll say, when you put yourself out there, you will fail and fail and fail until you succeed. It's uncomfortable, it hurts. And if someone's over here talking to me who's not in that arena, getting kicked down the way I am, willing to put themselves out there, I don't care what any of them have to say. Because the people who are really doing it will look at what you're doing and support you and uplift you. So remember, to have courage is to be open, to be vulnerable, and just to do it anyway. The second thing I talked about was the power of positive thinking, right? Everything you do and say begins with a thought. Thoughts race through your head all the time. You have the power to change it, to change the direction. If you were a basketball player and your coach took you out, didn't put you back in the game, you could come to practice the next day with an attitude, not a good teammate, selfish, shooting the ball every time, and being lazy. What kind of practice do you think you'll have as an individual or as the team will have? Probably not a good one. Or you can have that same thing happen to you, come to practice the next day, and say, you know what, I'm gonna show them that I should have played more. I'm going to win every drill in practice. I'm gonna work harder than everybody. I'm gonna be more vocal than everybody. And what kind of practice do you think that would be? You would be better, your team would be better. It's all about how you frame it in your mind. And now I wanna leave you with this last thing. It's one of my most favorite quotes. It's by a Chinese philosopher named Lao Tzu, and this is what he says: watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. Remember, everything you do and say all begins with your thoughts. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Coach Lindsay. We thank you so much. Mumeze neza? Mumeze neza? Mwarushye? Ubutumwa bwiza murimo kubwumva? Ko musa nk'abarushye ra? Muribuka akantu twakoze mbere? Nimvuga 1 turakoma amashyi rimwe. Nimvuga 2 dukoma amashyi kabiri. Nimvuga 3 dukoma amashyi kangahe? Gatatu. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Thank you so much. That energy is so incredible. So ladies and gentlemen, Up next is the Regional Managing Director at ITM Africa, a project management experience in multiple sectors. She's also passionate about youth empowerment and often facilitates job readiness programs of young graduates and entry-level professionals. She's a human connector. Umuntu tujye kwakira kandi yizera yuko ibisubizo bya Afrika ari by'abanyafrika. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to stage Dorcas Rutunda.
Mwiriwe, muraho. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am honored and I'm here to talk to you about how to start your financial future. I know it's a big word, so I'm gonna start with a question. Raise your hand if you've ever spent money, if you've paid for something, if you bought something, if you've ever spent money in your life. I'm assuming that's all of us, okay? Now raise your hand if you've ever made money, if you've ever done something and you were paid for it. Okay? Now, I want you to raise your hand if you've ever saved money. Means you made money and you saved some on the side. Oh, fewer hands. Okay, last one. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever invested money. Oh, even fewer hands. All right, so this is what I'm going to talk about, the 4 principles of personal finance. But for it not to be too complicated, I'll start with a story. And it's funny because I'm having a 360 moment right now. So the first time I've ever had my own money, I was 12 years old. I was just out of primary school, and Imbuto Foundation was awarding best academic performers. And they gave us books and other things, and $15. That was my first time. My mom asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want a skinny jean. They were very trendy at the time and very expensive. So we went to town, spent $3 on transportation, and we bought skinny jeans at $12. In the morning, I was $15 rich. By the time I went to bed, I had $0. That was my first experience with money. Now, the 4 principles of personal finance, or how to get started with your finances, starts with earning, making money. How do you make money, you ask? You add value. I know you're thinking, I get a job, I start a business, but that's not how you make money. You make money by finding a problem, by bringing the solution, and the solution adds value, and for that value, someone pays you money. Are we together? So now that you've made money, you could ask yourself, I don't know what kind of problems I'm going to be solving. I want you to look around this big, beautiful room. And what is the first thing you notice? Some will notice the stage, the lights, the people, the clothes. It depends. Now, the thing that you notice, ask yourself, what is the problem? And then think to yourself, what is the solution I can bring? And that is your start. But there's many more ways of making money, which is looking at other people, thinking of solutions. I'll give you a very small example, and I hope that someone can take it on. Think of the small shop in your neighborhood, and think of the person that works there from Monday to Sunday, morning to evening. Go to that person, tell them, can I work Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and you only pay me $2? Then you can go spend time with your family, you can have a nap, you can do anything you want with that 3 hours. And you will have seen the problem, found a solution, add value. They will be willing to pay your money. Now, after you've made money, the second principle is spending money. Don't be like me. Don't start your day with $15 and end it with $0. Spend wisely. And I want you to remember this principle. It's called the 70-20-10 rule. If you make 100% of income, 70% needs to go to essentials. Basically things that will help you make more money. Means your food, clothing, anything necessary. 20% saving. Now the 10%, because of course you've worked hard and you're young, you have the energy, do anything you want with it. You see, it's a good principle. If you want to know how to spend, think to yourself, 70, essential, 20, saving, 10, anything I want, it's my money. But only 10%, not the other way around. Now the next principle, which is saving. Saving money is less about how much money you're saving and more about the culture of saving. You need to instill it to yourself before you even start earning. Because trust me, the more you earn without the discipline of saving, the harder it will be for you to save. So start right now. If you're given transport money and there's $1 left, save it. By the time you start your first job for $100, remember 70, 20, and 10. Yes. Now the final principle, which is investing. People think of investing most of the times as investing in a business, having billions of money to put into something so big. But investing goes beyond that. There's also investing in yourself. How do you invest in yourself? The best currency that you have and you have control on is your time. How do you invest your time? Do you volunteer? Do you add value? Remember, money will be given to you as a reward for adding value. So think about investing yourself. Sometimes it even includes money. You can pay for a course, you can pay for studies, you can pay for a program, but invest. And invest beyond yourself. Invest in yourself, your community, your country, your continent. I will leave you with this. And I know you all have notebooks, so I want to make good use of it. Or if you have phones, you can write in your notes app. I want you to make a commitment. Are you with me? Yes. I want you to write this. 10 years from now, in 2033, that sounds like a long, long time, I will be making, are we writing? I want you to write, 10 years from now, in 2033, I will be making, and I want you to put whatever amount you want. Think big, do not limit yourself. That's 10 years from now. And then I want you to write a last line. 10 years from now, in 2033, I want to be solving, and I want you to write the problem you will be solving. Remember, you're investing in yourself, your community, your country, the continent. And I want you to put those 2 lines somewhere you can see every single day. And ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing today to reach this goal in 10 years? And that, my dear, is how you get started on your financial future. Thank you very much.
Arakoze cyane Dorcas kubwo ubutumwa bwiza tugejejeho, anadushishikariza gukora ibyiza. Imyaka 10 ntabwo ari kera, imyaka 10 n'ejo. Nizere ko twanditse ibyo tuzaba twagejejeho ndetse n'ibyo tuzaba tukuguka icyo gihe, sibyo? Sibyo rubyiruko turanga twabyanditse twese? Aha, murakoze cyane. Hanyuma rero umushyitsi ukurikiraho ni umunyarwanda kazi, akaba kandi amaze imyaka myinshi ari kumwe n'umuryango wa Giants of Africa. Ni umwe mu bizera yuko Afrika urubyiruko rwarwo ari rwo buzima bwiza ndetse n'abantu bakomeye Afrika ifite. Uyu munyarwandakazi ngiye kubagezaho rero ni umubyinnyi, akaba yaratwaye igikombe cya MTV Video Music Award kubw'indirimbo yagaragayemo ya Childish Gambino yitwa This Is America. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, she serves as a youth advocate for the United Nations International Fund for Agricultural Development. In 2023, she gave a dance lesson to the World Health Organization Director General, Tedros Adhanom. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very own Sherry Silver.
Thank you. Wow, this is amazing. Masai, thank you so much for having me. Your Excellency, it's a pleasure to see you again. I feel that every time I see you, I'm growing, and I want to see the same for the young people of Rwanda. Dream big, right? That's why we're all here, because we have big dreams. I've always had big dreams, but I was the rejected girl. I was rejected from a very young age. I remember I wanted to be an actress or a singer, even though I couldn't sing, but I wanted to be a singer. But then people would always tell me I'm too dark, or I'm too skinny, or I'm too this, or when I moved from Africa to the UK, that my accent was funny. So people were always giving me reasons to why I shouldn't dream big. But one thing I've always had is resilience and a mum that pushes me hard. My mum has always believed in me, and I pray the same for you. She's always believed in me more than I believe myself. So what did I have to do? I had to pick myself up. And I don't know if you're being bullied or what anybody has told you, but I'm here today to tell you to pick yourself up. The same ugly, they told me I was ugly, can you imagine? The same ugly, dark-skinned girl, when I was 15 years old, I got the opportunity to be in a movie called Africa United. And we actually premiered it here in Rwanda, as well as in London. But I could have sat there and said, oh, I'm too dark, I'm never gonna make it, all these things, which I did for a while, I'm not gonna lie, like I cried a lot. I cried a lot of tears. And every day my mom would tell me that I'm, so beautiful and I can do it, but I didn't really believe her because that's what moms are supposed to tell you. But eventually I actually started to believe it. So surround yourselves with people that speak positivity into your lives. It will help you. And also do the same for your friends, because you don't know what your friends are going through. So I picked myself up. And then I was like, what else can I do? So I can kind of sing. I've always had big dreams. Like, even if I couldn't really sing, I believed I could. And there was this opportunity where I think I was about 14 years old or something like that. And His Excellency President Kagame was coming to the UK. So I asked the ambassador at the time, His Excellency Gatete, I was like, please, let me write a song for him. Let me write a song. Let me sing. Let me sing. Me that doesn't know how to sing. Can you imagine? Anyway, somehow, miraculously, they agreed. And my dreams actually came true. Just by believing that I can write a song for the president of Rwanda at the age of 13, 14. I'm here to tell you that your dreams are not crazy. Masai Ujiri started with a dream in Africa. But the question is, what are you gonna do with your dreams today? Are you a good chef? Like, during the pandemic, I was like, oh my God, I can't dance, what can I do? And then I said to myself, I can cook, I guess. I'm okay. And then I just started putting out videos on Instagram of me cooking and dancing and cooking and dancing, the most random things. And before I knew it, I had a commercial with a really big company around cooking. Someone that had never put it out there that I can cook. But it's about what you do with your dream, how you put it out there, how your social media looks, all of these things. And how you brand yourself. If I started talking about branding, we'll be here till next week. And I know we don't have time, because tomorrow is the opening ceremony. Who's excited for tomorrow? Woo! Yes, I'm so excited. We're going to be performing here. Actually, we're going to have a massive performance. I don't want to tell you too much about it, but just be on time. It's going to be excellent. So, guys, I've really come here today to tell you to dream big. I am here not living my dreams, but living my reality. Never let anybody tell you to give up. Even when I thought I couldn't sing, I somehow find myself singing for one of the most important people in the world. And I know Brian mentioned that I taught Dr. Tedros how to dance. When I met him, he thought he couldn't dance. But I said, shake yourself a little bit, and look at him now. Go and see the video. He's a professional dancer. So nothing is impossible, right? Nothing is what? Nothing is what? Good, good. I love that. Guys, so I'm gonna tell you my next big dream, and we're gonna come here. So I wrote it down. We're gonna come back here in less than 10 years, and my dream will be a reality. My next big dream for you guys here, I'm gonna open Rwanda's most amazing talent development center. Yes. Where everyone is gonna have a place to come and learn how to dance and sing and act. Remember, I said it here, because I believe that nothing is impossible. But I think we're having a good time, but I wanna get everyone to just stand up. Just stretch your legs, just stretch your legs. Let me get my hype squad to join me. Let's get everyone just stretch, 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 stretch. Hype squad, hype squad. DJ, hit my track.
This game right here is going to take you to many places that you've never been. Okay? And sports, it brings people together. This one ball right here will bring all of us together. Come on! Come on, let's go! Come on! Yeah! Yeah!
So, everyone just turn to the side. Any side you want. Now, all I want you to do is just step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy. Everyone can step. Yes? So just swing your arms. We go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And then the other side. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, huh? No one's broken a leg. Everyone is fine. You see? You survived. Good. So after we do that, we're just gonna jump to one side. Let's say to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, hips are still okay? Good. Then we're gonna jump to the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. All right, but I want to see everybody doing it. So let's join it all together, and that's what you call a choreography, when you join moves together. All right, ready? So we're gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow! That's amazing. Masai, please, you're doing it so well. Please, I need you need to show them how it's done. Woo! You got the moves, you got the moves. All right, you ready? I think you should get someone else to join you as well.
Who should I get? You better come over here. You better come over here. No, it's you I want to come over here.
Woo! applause. All right, are you ready? We're gonna try it with the music.
Oh, the music?
Let's try it with some music.
Okay, we'll try.
Go on, DJ, let's go. Very, very big dreams. And you know, black girl, dark girl magic as well. So I had big dreams growing up. And I also wanted to become a singer or an actress, yes. And I had big dreams of performing in front of a global audience. I managed to do that a different way. I'm living out my dreams now as a sportscaster. So yes, I am certainly an example as well of dreaming big and always believing, regardless of your background, always believing in yourself and making those dreams a wonderful reality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my next two guests that are going to be coming up here on stage are also really inspirational. Their stories are unbelievable. Our first, and he's going to be making his way up here, is a celebrated advocate for human rights. He founded the Delay Institute for Children, Peace and Security with a mission to end the use of children in violence. Now, throughout his military career, he held various commanding positions, and he notably served as force commander of the United Nations mission for Rwanda during the 1994 genocide. Despite the UN's withdrawal, he and a small contingent remained in Rwanda to protect refugees. His courageous leadership has earned him numerous awards and global admiration. And you know, this is home for him as well. Please, let's welcome to the stage Lieutenant General Romeo A. Delay. Now, also coming up on stage is a Sierra Leonean author and human rights activist known for his memoir, A Long Way Gone. He was forced to flee his hometown during the Sierra Leone Civil War. He became a child soldier at the age of 13, fighting for almost 3 years before being rescued by UNICEF. He eventually found his way to New York City, where he attended school and later graduated from college. His experiences as a child soldier and his journey to recovery have shaped his work and his advocacy. Let's give him a warm round of applause as he comes out here on stage, Ishmael Bear. I'm so honored to be in such esteemed company. Lieutenant General, do I have to salute? I feel like I must salute.
Not today.
You're a global advocate for peace, a global advocate as well for the betterment of humanity. You're a father, a grandfather, as well as a former UN peacekeeper. Can you tell us about your hopes for children? Because we're celebrating International Youth Day. Your hopes for children when it comes to peace and security.
Amahoro Africa, Amahoro Rwanda. Excellency Masai, my colleague, ladies and gentlemen, young ladies and gentlemen, future giants of Africa, I salute you. I, as a humble soldier, have seen the courage and the strength of a nation. But I also see the potential of a nation. And the potential of a nation, the potential of humanity is in your hands. You have the balance of power to change humanity because you are the generation without borders. You communicate globally, real time, and you are able to learn, to see, to touch, to feel the future so much faster than any of us have ever been able to do. Your potential is limited only by your desire to use it and to exploit it for you, your family, your community, your country, but most importantly, for the advancement of humanity, not survival of humanity, the thriving advancement of humanity. That is in your hands. You are the future, and I salute you.
Oh yes, they most certainly are. Ishmael, I know you grew up at a time of war in Sierra Leone, but now you're such a powerful advocate for the protection of children from armed violence and war. What would be your most important messages to convey to the world and to this audience?
Well, thank you. I also want to extend my gratitude to Her Excellency, to Masai, Giants of Africa, and to all of the young people here, and to Masai's little giant team that's behind all of this. I've met some of them. They are the most hardworking people. What I want to say to young people is this. As you've heard a bit of my story, I came from a part in Sierra Leone that was a very remote part of the country where most people do not even know the name of my village. For a child to come from that village was almost unimaginable. And also to come from that place during the time of war was equally, unthought of. Nobody thought that was possible. But when I came out of that war and I found myself, long story, in the United States, I thought to myself, opportunities come with responsibilities. So I decided to dedicate myself to put a face to not only the experience, but to show people that what happens to you does not define your future. That you can change your life around drastically if you want to. So that's my message to young people here. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's impossible for you to achieve your dreams, or don't ever anybody tell you you are not intelligent. When I came from war, people expected a child soldier to be unintelligent, to not be able to form an opinion. But I knew that I was extremely intelligent, even though people doubted that. So I tried to change how that was done. And the way I did that is also that you are the one who can tell your story best. And you can determine where your story goes based on how hard you can work. And lastly, taking it back to African culture, I grew up in oral tradition storytelling where we believe that stories are medicine that are poured into you to strengthen you so that you're able to deal with life and form a future for yourself. So I do hope everything that you've heard here today for the young people, it's an additional medicine that you've received to sow your life the way you want to, unapologetically. So thank you.
That good medicine, yes. General Delay, I know a lot of policymakers around the globe often forget to include the perspectives of the youth and young people, especially when they're making some key decisions. Now, this is despite the fact that despite the fact that we know the historically important role that children have in bringing about positive change. I mean, I grew up, born and bred in South Africa, so I know the role of the youth during apartheid. You know, the youth were at the forefront of the protests against segregation. So how is it that we can encourage or empower young people to really think boldly about the future so that they can challenge the policymakers and also alter the course of humanity?
Why is it that people with gray hair decide the future for you when that future is only a couple years from now? It's not 20 or 30 years from now, it's just a couple years from now. Why are you not part of the decision? Why do we use tokenism? Oh, let's have a young person part of our group. No, we don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be part of the decisions. You want to be real players into the future of your country, of you. And to be real players, a couple tools are needed. One, continue with vigor to study, to study, to study, to study. Education is the basis of the discipline of your mind. Two, become activists, active, engage. Don't wait for people to tell you whether you can do something. You do something. And it's up to us with the gray hair to have the courage to see that, yes, some mistakes will be made, but ultimately you will have the right solution for your future, which is only a few years away. Not 10, a few years. And so you are the potential not only of Rwanda and Africa, but you are the potential of humanity to see peace forever, and for all of us to grow happy, serene, safe, loving, for we are all equal. None of us, not one of us, is more human than the other. We are all human and we are all equal. So go and get that potential that you have and make it work. That's just a few words I have as a humble soldier.
And Ishmael, you know, finally, I know you spoke about the power of storytelling. How can young people leverage this power of stories and storytelling to create a more hopeful and brighter future?
Well, I want to start by saying that when I look at the young people here, I don't see them as only giants in the future, but giants now. They are giants in the present. And you have to believe that, because you can't really force people to have their perception towards you, but the way you carry yourself and what you do will change their perception. Since I'm a writer, I'll tell you a very simple story how I started to think about writing. When I came out of Sierra Leone, out of war, I had nothing. You know, in fact, I was only lucky to have a passport that the United Nations had helped me get. And so when I was adopted in a family in New York, and I arrived and they tried to put me into school, nobody would take me into any school because I had no way of showing that I had been in school because I come from war. So everybody said, well, we don't know. And I was telling them, well, English is not my first or even seventh language, but I'm speaking it so that I show something. Nobody believed it. So I decided to write an essay that was simply titled, Why I Do Not Have a Report. And that essay gave context to what my life is. And that essay actually gave me a scholarship to the United Nations International School. So they saw. So again, if you change people's perception by how you bring wisdom to your experiences, but also how you repurpose what has happened in your life in the past, no matter how bad it was. In my experience, I came from extreme violence. But when I was in school, I realized I'd learned something from that violence. One was not to take anything for granted. Second was to be dedicated. I'd learned as a soldier, even though I was dragged into it in a difficult way, to be very disciplined. So when I was in school, I thought to myself, listen, how do I reapply that? So I'll go to the library because I hadn't been in school for many years and say, I will sit there and I would not move, just like I was a soldier, and I will read 4 books before I leave the library. And I'll be able to do that. Now that dedication I had learned through something considered horrible. How I'm effective as a writer is because as a soldier you learn to observe people deeply. So when I want to write characters that are effective, I observe people deeply. Again, I repurpose something that I'd learned in violence. So for all of you, that's what you can do. That's what I do. In my advocacy, that's what I do. I constantly give context to people's lives. We come from this continent where people have various perceptions of it. But yet, look at the brilliance that's coming from it. You know, I mean, we have Masai as an example. We have a first lady. We have the president of Rwanda. So we need to tell those stories so people can stop looking at us as a place that doesn't have this incredible intelligence. But rather, it's always been there. We need to rebelieve it and show it to the world. So basically, yesterday they were interviewing me and I said, how do you think about African youth? We're trailblazing. We're setting the next agenda. You know, earlier you saw when Diamond Platnumz came out, everybody, you can hear his music anywhere in the world, in New York, in Los Angeles, in Toronto. We are setting the agenda for the world. That's how you should think when you go out as a young person to conduct yourself. So when you walk in that room, you walk with purpose, with confidence, with the intelligence that's part of your DNA. You know, that's it.
Wow, wow, wow. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much, General. Thank you, Ishmael Bear, for coming out here and inspiring us. Aren't they amazing? Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Ishmael is talking about the power of storytelling and using our experiences. Now, I believe that we've got a talented young poet here in the midst. Gloria? Where are you, Gloria? Gloria is going to be coming up here to read a poem that she has written in honor of International Youth Day and in honor of all of you. So much talent in the building, covered out.
Daffodils. Their yellow, bright petals and trumpet-like shape give them a joyful and exuberant appearance that is often associated with youthfulness. I read this in an article and thought to myself, was something wrong with me? Since I wasn't radiating brightly with the sun rays. As a matter of fact, all I recall was being in a room filled with gloom. The questions of life multiply and confusion filled my mind. And yet, here's where I felt a sensation of relation. Daffodils are also known for their resilience and ability to withstand harsh conditions, much like the youthful spirit. So tell me, how many times did you make most of your young days? And how many times did the ache cave in, the struggle to create a name, and the thoughts creeping in that tried to leave you in pain? But you withstood. You withstood and still showed your brightness, even in the moment of sadness. To make it simple, you are a youthful spirit. The confused days will blaze in, but they will fade away. Your curiosity is nothing but a part of your brain being exceptionally designed to transform the world of today. So let that transformational voice of yours to be heard. The confusion will come. Though you can never see the finish line, take one step at a time. I repeat, one step at a time. Let not the unspoken failures block you, for the true failure is failure to attempt. And so soon, when the harsh weather takes its ground, that will be your time to bloom, just like a daffodil. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big round of applause to Gloria. Thank you so much for those beautiful words, Gloria. Hanyuma, hari abantu bazi Art Rwanda ubuhanzi? Hari abantu bazi Art Rwanda ubuhanzi? Hari abayizi? Amaboko hejuru turebe abayizi. Hanyuma rero, Art Rwanda ubuhanzi ni irushanwa ritegurwa na Imbuto Foundation. Rikaba ari irushanwa ryo gushakisha impano zitandukanye bazenguruka igihugu hose. Harimo ubusizi, harimo ubugeni, harimo kuririmba, harimo imideri, harimo urwenya, harimo gufotora n'ibindi bigiye bitandukanye. Hamaze guhangwa imirimo irenga 400 mu myaka 2 yonyine. Ladies and gentlemen, amashyi menshi cyane twakira Art Rwanda ubuhanzi performance.
y'abahungu dore ko yiriwe ibunza ndiba nyina ntibayizi ishaka bayitera abahungu ko amarara ndimena y'urugamba imburira bitega rugero rw'intore iyo niburiye naraye aye 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 harimo indashyikirwa abahungu harimo uwo baratira imihigo harimo bene inganji Africa shine, my motherland. Motivation, the dances and the rhythms brings out the image of Africans. It runs in my veins, my blood, it takes over me and you. So let us spread our music to the world. Shine, Africa, Africa, shine, my motherland. Shine, Africa, Africa, shine, my motherland. I just want to teach you something so we could play together with the audience and our band. I will need your help with the claps. I'll have this side, another clap. Africa shine, my motherland. Shine, Africa, Africa shine, my motherland. Shine, Africa, Africa shine, my motherland. Africa shine, my motherland. Rwandans, where you at?
Mubabwire iwacu si kure, hari amata n'amahoro menshi. Mubabwire kw'intambwe mwese iwacu amarebe n'imena tubahamagaye mwese iwacu. This is really simple, we can sing together. Amarebe n'imena tubahamagaye mwese iwacu. Let's go together. Amarebe n'imena tubahamagaye mwese iwacu. One more time together. Amarebe n'imena tubahamagaye mwese iwacu. Thank you.
amashyi menshi cyane kuri Arts Rwanda ubuhanzi, tuwongera amashyi menshi cyane. Shishikariza urubyiruko rwose ruri ahangaha guhera ku myaka 18 kugeza ku myaka 30 gukurikirana kuri social media zose za Arts Rwanda ubuhanzi, kugira ngo namwe muzitabire amarushanwa yo gushakisha impano, namwe muzabe mumeze nk'aba ngaba, sibyo? Rubyiruko turi ahangaha dukurikirane kuri social media zose za Arts Rwanda ubuhanzi, kugira ngo natwe tuzitabire amarushanwa yo gushakisha impano mu gihugu hose. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is attending physician in surgery department, a director general of public hospitals for the last 10 years. He has received medical training from the University of Rwanda, and he holds a master's in public health from the Manchester Metropolitan University. And he is a PhD candidate from Gothenburg University. Ladies and gentlemen, since his time in university, he has been actively involved in youth development programs with National Youth Council of Rwanda. And now he continues to do so. It's my honor, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome to the stage Honorable the Minister of Youth, Dr. Abdallah Utumatwishima.
Your Excellency, the First Lady, Masai Ujiri, the co-founder of the Giants of Africa, the humble soldier, Lieutenant General Dallaire, government officials, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, fellow youth, good afternoon. Mraho. Yesterday, I came here and I met two staffers from Giants of Africa, Emily and Tamara. And we discussed about the topic today, mental health and wellness. And I asked them, why is it needed for the Giants? If the Giants are very energetic, very young, why do they need a talk on mental health? I even asked them and insisted, why do young people, students, 15 to 18 years, need a mental health talk? They told me mental health, wellness, they are really needed for everybody, even the Giants. So let me just share a few thoughts on how we can maintain our mental health, but also how to do well in our... Everyone here has a head, right? Can you touch your head? Do you have a head? Yes. If you have a head and you know you have it, it means you have a brain. There are people with a head but who cannot know that they have a head. So if you have the brain in your head, it means you are a candidate for a mental health problem. So you are a candidate. Everyone is a candidate, which means everyone can get in low battery, overexcited, very emotional and very angry, sometimes don't want to wake up from your bed. It can happen to everyone. Especially for, the speakers, they spoke about having dreams. Some people don't have dreams because they can't actually sleep. What if you go home and you don't have food? There's no food at home. There's no good bed. Maybe your parents are fighting. One of them is drunk, for example, and you have exams to do when you are at school. You will not be able to sleep. You can't have time to dream. So most of the young people we have today, they are at school. According to the speakers we've had from the beginning, every young person needs to have a goal and a dream. But we have challenges in our families, with our parents separating, with our parents maybe fighting, the gender-based violence happening in our families. Even the poverty after the pandemic, the wars around the world where the prices, the cost of living is gone up. I know. It can create a mental fatigue and a mental breakdown, but you can still make it. If you feel mentally weak, do not hesitate to seek help. For the students in secondary schools, for those in universities, please, if you feel weak, low battery, you don't want to wake up from your bed, a girl or a boy, please talk to someone, seek help. Go to the health center. You can talk to someone and tell him your story. It's important to talk to someone. And if you go home and you are lucky to have parents, talk to your parents. Especially, talk to your mom. And if you can't talk to her a lot of things, just give her a hug. And you cry a little bit. Your mom. For those who pray like Muslims, one person asked the Prophet, who is the first person to love more in your family? He said, your mom. And the second place, your mom. And the third place, your mom. And the fourth place, at least, your father. So you see the position we have. So I want to tell the young people here, if you have a problem and you are lucky to have your both parents, go home, talk to them, respect them, and they will help you. So it means you need a discipline in your house to be able to create a relationship with your parents. And after the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, some people, some young people lost their parents in the genocide. We only had this country. We had the Imbuto. We had the president as our father and the first lady as our mom. If you feel sad and you don't have parents, think of this country. Think of the sacrifices of Ingotanyi, and you wake up again and you move on. When we finished our secondary schools, we went to the Itorero, I can say, the civic engagement camp. And one soldier who was telling us to wake up, he used to whistle the blower around 4 a.m. And we would wake up and go to the ground, and we were like angry. Why do you wake us up so early in the morning? And he told us a prayer. Oh God, give me the power to never complain of things I can never change. Yaratubwiraga ngo tujye tubwira Imana naduhamagara mu gitondo ngo Nyagasani mpimbaraga ubwitonzi bwo kutarakarira ibintu ntashobora guhindura. Ati nababyukije ntimwasubira kuryama musabe Imana mu byihanganire ko nicyo mushoboye. So in case you have a problem, try not to complain on things that you can't change. And if you think you are overwhelmed, just make a prayer. But as I learned from Tamara and Emily yesterday, wake up 5 a.m. For those who read books, you can read the book about 5 a.m. Club. Wake up every morning and just move. Just do some physical exercise. Your dopamine levels, your happiness hormones will go up. Just do some movements, some exercise, and meditate a little bit. And if you go to school, if you win, also the winning spirit will increase your hormones of happiness. So what I wanted to share with the young people is that, of course, we have issues in our families. Of course, we have issues at the school. Of course, we can even see on social media, on Instagram, very fancy kids with fancy families, fancy houses, and you feel like as if you did something wrong in life. Nothing wrong with you. Just be kind for yourself, be kind for your family, be kind for your country, have a dream, work hard, ask for help, just go with the friends, and as giants do, just move and exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Utumatwishima, for some wonderful words there and some nuggets. Just telling us the importance of mental health. Very, very topical in this day and age. Well, I'm really excited about this next segment because now we're going to be talking about the future, your future. The world is rapidly changing around us, right? So is the job landscape. So we want you all to be fully prepared for the amazing opportunities that lie ahead. We want to help equip you with the right skills and the right knowledge. So we brought together an incredible group of industry experts and visionaries. They'll be sharing some invaluable insights with all of us today. We'll be talking about cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence to the ever-evolving job market and industry trends. We're gonna be hearing from these experts who have got you covered with all the information that you need. I'm going to be posing my first question to this visionary leader with over 10 years of experience in socio-economic development, social innovation, and impact communications. Her journey has been marked by a relentless pursuit of empowering African youth and driving positive change across the continent. We have Chief Growth and Operations at Power Learn Project here with us today, Mumbi Ndungu. Mumbi, stand up, hey. And I want to encourage you to listen. If you guys have any questions as well, we'll be affording an opportunity for you to pose those questions to our experts. Mumbi, so good to have you with us today. I want to ask you, as technology continues to advance, what skills will become increasingly valuable for job seekers and professionals to thrive in the future work?
Thank you so much. I'm extremely excited to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity. As mentioned, my name is Mumbi Ndungu. I'm Chief of Growth and Operations at Power Learn Project, which is one of Africa's leading capacity building organizations in technology. We are currently in the pursuit to train over 1 million software developers across the continent, currently training about 10,000 across 5 countries in Africa.
We love that. Round of applause. Wow.
Thank you. So just to answer your question, there's 2 approaches I look at this. One is through the hard skills and also the soft skills. So the hard skills are ideally what we learn in school. So currently in the technology space, it's evolving really fast. So we need to adapt really fast. So for any professionals and young people who are looking to go into that space, they need to be able to upskill themselves really fast, understanding what's needed in the market and seeing how best they can get the opportunity to learn that particular thing. But my main focus will be on the soft skills. First, as an employer myself, interacting with young people, I've realized that there's a huge need for young people to pay more attention to the need for soft skills at the workplace. And by soft skills, I mean critical thinking, problem-solving skills. I'm looking at empathy, teamwork. Even if you're the best software developer in the world, if you cannot work in a team, ideally you will not be able to achieve whatever you're looking to achieve. So I think those are the two main approaches I would look at it.
Love that. All right, let's talk AI, artificial intelligence, and also automation. In what ways are those impacting the job market, and how can youth prepare themselves for these changes in order to maximize their job opportunities?
Thank you. So there's so many conversations around artificial intelligence. And I think for me, how I look at it, one, is much as there's a lot of conversation around the displacement of jobs, I think there's also a lot of opportunity, especially for young people to get into that space. So we see there's the need for more skilled programmers, for example, who are going into this space. So if you're interested in software development as such, you need to become more skilled now. So instead of just entry-level understanding of software programming languages, now you have to be more focused and take a particular route. But the opportunity also lies there because a lot of artificial intelligence relies on data. And one thing about Africa, we don't have enough data for those who are willing to build solutions for ourselves. Speak about things like ChatGPT, which everybody's talking about in the whole world. If you go there, most of the context of that data is not African. So it's time for young people to take the opportunity to get into this space and get the skills so we can create more solutions in artificial intelligence for our continent.
I love that. I love that. I'm sure you're going to have a question here. Questions, Brian, I'm going to need your help with the microphone. Do we have a question for our industry experts? Just raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yeah? Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Ganzayan, and I'm a student at Wellspring Academy. And so I'm a student in entrepreneurship and IT, and I also aspire to be a great entrepreneur in the future. And so my question is, how can I position myself in this new emerging technology? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ian. So just before you sit down, allow me to throw back a question to you. Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? Why do you want to go into that space?
Because, as you said, as the world keeps evolving, and the technology also keeps improving. And so that's why I want to be an entrepreneur, to also reach to many people and have a good base. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So there's a reason why I asked you about your why. Because like you said, technology is evolving. Pretty much challenges in the world are evolving, but the one thing that stays consistent with all entrepreneurs is their why. Why do you start this? Why do you want to solve this challenge? Why do you want to create this solution? So I would first say starting with your why is very critical. And then now you go into how do I solve my why? So that's where all these things come around about market research. You need to do the market research, understand what the market needs, what your consumer needs, and then look at what technologies can help you make that more efficient for that consumer. So ideally, that's in summary what I would advise.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for our first expert that is here with us today. Great job. All right, next up, let's hear from the head of targeted labor market interventions at the Rwanda Development Board from 2018, with extensive experience and expertise in labor and employment, especially in employability skills development, employment promotion, business development, and labor market research. We've got Francois Ngoboka here with us today. Francois, where are you?
I'm here. Thank you.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Yes. Francois, good to have you here with us today. Can you tell us, how can young individuals acquire skills that align with the rapidly evolving job market and industry trends to ensure that they remain employable in the next, let's say, 5 years?
Thank you, Carol. The how is always difficult, but let me attempt. The core of learning a skill or a competence is to make it a habit, to make it part of your daily life, to integrate it in your daily plan. I know this is a bit abstract, but those skills that can make someone remain relevant in the next 5 years in the labor market include skills related to digital skills, communication, and data information visualization. But to illustrate it more, let me share with you a discussion, a conversation I had recently with an employer which was looking to hire around 100 youth, young graduates. The employer came to us in RDB. We are the interface of employers and investors, and he was requesting a support to select young graduates to hire. And as usual, we jump on asking questions on what kind of education fields, education program he would like to have, he's looking for. And we were surprised by his answer. He said that he doesn't care about the education program and education fields, as long as they are having, they can learn faster, they are open to others' view, and they can communicate well. From that discussion, I reflected on those attributes, and I learned that it's not because he was also not looking for education fields, but he was looking for something beyond. And you can see that being a fast learner implies that whatever we learn from early age should enable us to learn further. And being open to others' view means you can be a good listener, you can be a good team player, you have team spirit, and so on. Given that that investor is looking to serve international clients. And the third one of communicating well is also very important, given that the worker has to express clearly what he needs from stakeholders, from supervisors, and from peers. Yeah. So in a nutshell, those are the core, and learning them, you can use virtual content, online content. There are professional courses you can enroll in, some of them free, others payable but affordable. But most importantly, please remember to make it a habit, to make it consistent, whatever you are learning, to make it part of your daily life plan. Thank you.
Great stuff. All right, we love that. So being a fast learner, a team player. Just a very short one as well, a quick one. Let's talk about critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Those are also very, very important in navigating the complexities of this evolving job landscape. So what initiatives can be implemented to encourage the development of these skills amongst the youth?
Thank you very much. The main issue on critical thinking and problem solving is beyond understanding the problem, but understanding different interaction and the relationship and the patterns between different problems. Engaging in a discussion of different perspectives, taking a role of responsibility and being a part at early age in a youth club, in a sport club, in a church club, in a professional networking that will develop the habit and the competencies of engaging in a discussion with critical thinking. But most importantly, critical thinking involves processing information and deducing informed decision and solutions. So, meaning learning, understanding the subject you are working on and going deeper, researching and learning. You can learn through books, you can learn through articles, you can learn through online content, but you have to keep in mind that you have to purposefully select the topic and the content of what you want to learn. But in our country and also in other countries, there are also those who are offering face-to-face training and getting that habit of consistent and discipline in learning constantly will make a difference of what you want to know.
Thank you so much, Francois. A round of applause. I felt a buzz of excitement in that section over there. I don't know if you have questions, but before I go there for any possible questions, let's hear from our next expert, because I know a lot of people think of the technical requirements that are needed to land their dream job, but the future of work is likely to be characterized by frequent changes and lots of disruptions. So let's talk a little bit about this. And I'm thrilled to have here our next expert, a certified emotional intelligence neuro-leadership coach, Carlin Purcell, a visionary catalyst for impactful global change. She's got a foundation in ancestral wisdom and cultural equity-focused learning. She drives equitable change by cultivating psychological safety, emotional intelligence, and personal growth within organizations. Hi, Carlin.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you, how important is adaptability, flexibility for young individuals, and how can they cultivate this important skill?
Such an important question, and it's such an honor to be here. When we talk about dreaming big, I think about the little girl who grew up in a very rural area in St. Lucia, which is my home country. I remember going to the river to carry my water, get my jerry can, and get to school. And one of the things that when I moved from St. Lucia to Toronto, to Canada, I thought of a lot of the skills and the things that I learned growing up would have been enough, right? And I was very surprised to learn that people have a story or an opinion about you, and the way people see you will determine or can determine how you move forward. So I had to learn how to adapt, and how I did that was to tell my story my way. So I had to change the story or the narrative people had about me in their mind in order for me to show up successfully and believe in myself. Now, adaptability is the ability for us to navigate new situations. And the World Economic Forum have actually coined that as being one of the top skills needed, not for the future of work, I would say for the now of work. So I want all of you to think about, and some of you are coming out here, you're out of your country for the very first time, you're already working on flexing your adaptability skills, right? Because you're in a new situation, you're in a new place, and you're making new friends. So when you think about how do I flex those adaptability skills, first start with understanding what is my emotional language when it comes to new things. Do I resist? Do I lean into it? Or do I freeze and I get quiet and I don't use my voice? So I would say that's the first thing. And once you can identify that, then you can now start to change it. You can step into it. And I really didn't change until I fully understood that who I am is a story that I get to write, and it's not one people get to write about me.
Love that. Yep. I know, Colin, it's not very easy for the youth of today. As they think about their futures, how can they best navigate the emotional journey?
That is like such a tough one. Yes, you know, it's really hard for the youth for today, and in some ways I feel like society have failed the youth. I talked earlier on about growing up in the Caribbean in St. Lucia, and I remember when I left St. Lucia, I was 25 years old. But when I left the rural area I was in and we moved to another village, one of the greatest things that I had to overcome is being a survivor of child sexual abuse. And that narrative and that story, it put me in a place, I call it like I was emotionally constipated. How many of you have been there? Well, you don't really know what you feel, you cannot name the emotions. So then the emotions, you get overwhelmed and we shut down. So think about how you can tap into the intelligence of that emotion, even if you don't have the language for it. Your emotional journey, how you deal with your emotion, will determine how you thrive. So your emotional language, that's the first thing. Get to understand it, get to know it. And I'm gonna share with you 3 C's that you can tap into in order to help you to dream big. The first one is to tap into your cultural inheritance and your cultural wealth. I mentioned earlier that story of, oh, Carlin, the things that you've been through. Child sexual abuse being one, the psychological violence being another. You know, we have racial trauma, there's sexism, there's misogyny. There's a whole bunch of things that sometimes life sends at us, right? And we don't necessarily know what's coming. But this is where that adaptability, which is a core skill in emotional intelligence, comes in. So that cultural wealth, that cultural inheritance, what did I learn from my mother and my father? How they toiled the land. I had to walk an hour to catch the bus to go to school. My mother didn't care. I still had to get up, get my water, then walk to catch the bus to go to school. So I learned about that discipline of the mind and the discipline of being very good with the skills that you have been given. So your cultural inheritance, your cultural wealth, tap into this. Don't just learn from the resistance of our people, but the joy, the creativity. We are the culture, right? When I look across the room right now, the greatest assets from the continent is here in this room. And Giants of Africa have brought all of us together. So think about that cultural wealth. The second thing that I would say is know your cause or choose a cause. All of you put up your hand and say, hey, I want to be a part of this camp for a reason. What was that reason? Maybe you wanted to see a different side of yourself. Maybe you wanted to make new friends. Whatever it is, you are walking away with a new skill set and a new cause because you said yes to yourself and because you decided to show up. Make the cause bigger than who you are. That story I shared about being a survivor of child sexual abuse, that fueled my cause. Sometimes things happen to us and we think that, hey, I have been buried. Sometimes it is not a tomb, but it's a throne that you have been given. So as you think about that cause, let the cause lead you, let the cause find you, and that cause is actually a part of your life. So the very life that you're living, you don't have to search. The wisdom that you need is right here, and it's in the community that you have here. The last C is courage. The courage to take action and the courage to ask for help. So many of us forget that we are not alone. And now that you have the community of the GOA, I want all of you to go, when you go back home, wherever home is, think about who's gonna be my dream bigger partner. Who is that person who's gonna keep me accountable? Who is that person who's gonna help me to build the courage in myself when I don't remember it? So your cultural inheritance, your cultural wealth, I tell people every day, I'm so happy I was born black, right? There is just so much that we have and that we've inherited. The second thing, know your cause, which is your dream, your goal, your purpose. The courage to take action and the courage to ask for help. Right now in KDPM Equity Institute, we're launching an institute in partnership with Saki. My friend Shireen Ashman is here with me. The power of sisterhood has gotten me much further than I could have gone on my own. So remember, you cannot do it alone. And in closing, the last thing that I would say is, fear is a natural emotion. If you have a brain, you will feel fear. You will feel anxiety. There are days you will not want to get up. That's okay. This is where you get to understand, what do I need right now in this moment? And this is where the asking for help, the courage to ask for help comes in. And also get to know your worry story, your posture. Our emotions, our mind feeds our emotion, our thoughts feeds our emotions also feed our thoughts. So what is your dream bigger T? Because if you don't tell your brain, the neurons that get us to think, what you would like out of life, the default, it will tell you what life will want out of you. And most times, it's not always good, because our brain is designed to keep us safe, not to make us happy. So this is why the fear and the anxiety story will show up. But again, you are the narrator of your life. You get to write your story. When I think of that little girl in the country, growing up in the bush, I never thought she'd be here at GOA on stage speaking. That wasn't a dream that was on my cards. Not at all. And I thought I didn't have value because of what I went through. So some of you might have an elephant story. Your story may not be my story, but at 7, when I lost that innocence, I thought that was it for me. And even growing up in my 20s, I thought that was it for me. But a lot of the things that I've done in my business, I do self-love coloring books, we train on EQ, all of that came to life because I decided to fight harder for me, but most importantly, I believe I was worth fighting hard for. So I want you to remember that always.
Wow, you're so inspirational. A round of applause. All right, so we've got just about enough time, Colin, for a question. I'm sure we have a question. Brian, where are you? All right, Brian, yes. I knew we were going to get a question from that section.
Murakoze cyane, nitwa Umugwaneza Aime Carla, ndangije icyiciro kibanza cy'amashuri yisumbuye. Nkaba mpagarariye abana. Iyo ngiriye amahirwe yo kuganira nabo cyangwa se no kwishuraho niga, abenshi bahuriza ku kibazo cy'uko iyo bakoresheje ikoranabuhanga ababyeyi babo babibona nabi mu buryo bubi, cyangwa se bagakeka ko n'iryo koranabuhanga ari uburozi nko ku bwonko bwabo. Ese ni uruhe ruhare ababyeyi bo bari kugira mu kudutegura twebwe nk'urubyiruko muri iyo si y'umurimo izaza cyangwa se iy'ikoranabuhanga? Ni iyihe nama mwatugira cyangwa se mwagira ababyeyi bacu kugira ngo tugendane muri iyo si y'ikoranabuhanga? Murakoze.
Yes, Brian?
Thank you. She's asking for a piece of advice on using internet. Their parents look at it like it's too poisonous to them. So what is a piece of advice you can give to them or to the parents as they want to be on the market? Thank you.
Can you just repeat the first part again?
Like using internet makes like their parents looks it like a poisonous thing to their kids. What is a piece of advice you can give to the kids or to the parents while you're using the internet as they see it as a bad thing? Thank you.
Yes, the internet can be a tool just as everything in life to benefit you. It depends on how you use it. So going back to that cause, what is your cause? What is your reason for using the internet? Everything has the potential to be bad, but it's just what are you focused on while you're there? So we know that our thoughts influence our emotions and also how we feel and how confident we feel about ourselves. The same thing for the internet. You can also develop that bit of, anxiety, or maybe you might be in a space where what you're watching or what you're following might cause a little bit of, not jealousy, but like you're not sure in terms of the people that you're following or the people that you might be looking at online. So what I would say is curate the internet in a way that it serves your purpose and what you are working towards. And for the parents who might think that the internet, I mean, the entire world is virtual right now. There are no borders. So when you think about the now of work, and you think about ChatGPT and AI, this is a great time for the children, kids, youth, to actually get to understand how to leverage the internet for your greater cause or for your bigger dream. So think about your purpose for it. And again, the key there is also addressing the mindset. The mindset you walk into the room with will determine the altitude of your behavior or what you are working towards. And does that answer the question? And the last thing that I would say in closing is that it's a quote from one of my favorite poets, Nigerian poet who's actually based in Edmonton. She was Edmonton Nobel laureate, Titilope Sonuga. As you navigate your big dreams, remember that fear is just a growling animal with no teeth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caroline. That was an incredible conversation, and I'm sure all took something out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are near the end of the International Youth Forum, we wanted to bring back Masai Ujili to the stage to share a few words with us. Please welcome Masai Ujili. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all your incredible, eloquent speakers here today. I want all the kids to sit up, sit up and listen. Listen properly now. I know we've kept you guys for a long time today, but I know one day you're going to look at this time and the people that you've heard speak today, and all these things will echo with you because they are so important. I heard many things today. Courage, mental wellness, dreaming big, winning. The one thing I want to really emphasize here on the continent and today is respect. And I want to go even further in respect for women, okay? We need to respect women on our continent and everywhere in the world even more, okay? I know I came from my mother. Yes, we have wives, we have daughters, we have aunts, we have girlfriends. Respect, yeah, and show it and do it. Don't just speak it. Show it, do it. Every day, okay? It's something we need to learn more and more. We Africans here, all you youth, okay, are going to grow up, are going to be bigger, you are going to be better, you are going to be able to dream and dream and dream bigger and achieve bigger, okay? Yes. We all grew up. You see all these people here. You see Amadou Fall, you see Ishmael Bear, you see Ramatu, you see Mama Kay, you see Minister Mimosa. We all grew up in this continent, okay? I grew up in this continent up to when I was 19 years old, okay? We must believe in who we are, okay? Don't let anybody else come and tell us who we are. Yes, okay? If we can get to all these positions, okay? You know the story of President Kagame. You know the story of all these great Africans. Amadou Gallo Fall here. He's the president of the Basketball Africa League. They come and play here. We grow, we big, We walk with command, huh? Yes. All you youth, you will become. If I can become, I want my little daughter, I want my little son to become. I want you to become, okay? Because all of you are smarter than all of us here. Yeah, so believe in the continent, believe in you, believe in your community, okay? You are a giant. That's why we wanted to start this. Where is Godwin Owinja? Is Godwin Owinja here? A co-founder of Giants of Africa. When we were dreaming big, okay? But it started small. You can start small. We had a bin, okay? We wanted to do camps around the country. So we went and asked for shoes. They throw the shoes in the bin, used shoes, and then we put them in bags. With Amadou. Sometimes I don't have money. And he will let me sleep on his bed. Okay? Yeah, it doesn't all start easy. It doesn't start easy. And like this speaker said, don't think because of where you're coming from that you can't dream and you cannot become. Yeah. Dreaming is free. There's nobody that has ever paid for a dream. It's free. Smiling is free. Yes, we can be happy in Africa. We can grow. We can become. When I walk into a room, I walk proud. I'm strong. Yes, I know, I believe, I respect. I respect what is around me. Okay? Our dream one day was to bring people through basketball and sports. Look at where we are. Yes. One day we sat down with the president of this country in Toronto, and he sat down like this in the arena, and he said, how do we bring this kind of arena to the continent? Look at where we are. We're in our own arena. Yes, so if you don't think you can become, I'm telling you now, yes, you can be anything, anything, anything you want to be in this world, okay? I remember one day being a leader of the Toronto Raptors. I came home. I had to make a very, very big decision. Very, very big decision. I had thought about it. I had brought all the people, the smart people around me, and now I had to make a decision. And we are all human beings. You start to question yourself sometimes, okay? I came home, walked into the garage, went inside the house. My head was down, okay? There was somebody visiting my house that day. It was Mama Kay. She was with my wife Ramatu and her daughter Ange in our kitchen. And she noticed that my head was down. And she told me to put my head up. This is why you're a leader. This is why you have been put in this position. So you take responsibility and you make these decisions. Okay? That's coming from a sister, a mother, and a woman. And this is what I tell you, that we all have to respect everybody that's around us. Help each other, okay, is important. We're not only here for this week, we're here forever, because we see ourselves as sons and daughters of Africa, okay? So on that note, hold on for me. I can carry flowers. I can speak loud too, without a mic. Mama Kay, on behalf of Giants of Africa, on behalf of all these youth here, on behalf of everything we respect, I want to say thank you for believing in us. Thank you for the partnership. Thank you for welcoming us here. This is to the women. This is to Africa right here. Okay? Thank you.
Please, can you go up on stage? Masai and Her Excellency, the First
God
Lady.
bless.
Please, can you go up on stage so we can get a proper photograph?
Sorry.
Just for photo. Just for an official photograph to commemorate this special occasion. And while they remain there, we'll ask our honorable ministers as well to please go up and join them for a photograph. And Mr. Amadou Gallo Fall, our guest of honor, come up on stage, please. Mama Ujiri Ramatu as well. Ended, it flew by. It really flew by. But once again, a big thanks to all of our speakers, all of our wonderful guests of honor, and of course, Danny Reese for his support in making this event an eventuality.
turashimira cyane rero Minisiteri y'Urubyiruko, turashimira byimazeyo Imbuto Foundation yatumye ibi byose bihanga. Amashyi menshi cyane kuri Imbuto Foundation ndetse na Minisiteri y'Urubyiruko. To all our speakers, thank you so much for joining us. And a special thank you to Her Excellency, First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, for being here with us today. We thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone please remain in your seats as the First Lady exits, followed by the rest of our speakers. Thank you.
You see how much you can put yourself into something if you really want to do it. It's your energy to play. It's your energy to learn. It's your energy to listen. Always put your best.
The opportunities that sports provide are immense, and especially for kids from those vulnerable backgrounds where most of the Giants of Africa coaches from the continent came from. It is a lifeline. It's what took us out.
Just whatever you find to do in front of you, do it hard, do it the best way you can. Whether it's school, whether it's basketball, whether it's leading your little sister, your little brother, your family, just do it hard. Africa will win. We must win. We will win. But it starts with you guys.
basketball because they go to school. These guys, when they're done with their careers, they get into business, but they have degrees in their pockets. So you can't take it for granted. You have to take your school seriously. It's very important.
My name is Wisdom. I'm from Nigeria.
Je m'appelle Sembre Manika Fatou. Je viens du Burkina Faso.
My name is Garang Kwal Garang. I'm from South Sudan.
My name is Zufau. I'm from Benin. I am a giant of Africa.